All right, Saagar, what are you looking at?
Well, the slow demise of cable news has been a favorite topic of this show. Why wouldn't it be? Both Crystal and I see Breaking Points as diametrically opposed to that terrible medium, with an explicit goal of counteracting the damage that they have done to this country over the last 30 years. Now, I'm not going to pretend that we succeeded, but I do like to think the rapid rise of the show in the last month has lessons for the future. But I have even better and possibly even more important news to show all of you. It's not just cable news. All partisan media is doing terribly right now. A new Axios analysis of traffic to partisan media outlets shows, quote, outlets most dependent on controversy to stir up resentments have struggled to find a foothold in the Biden era. Websites like that of Newsmax have seen a 44% drop since February. Lefty news outlets like Mother Jones and Raw Story have had a 27% drop. And it's not just online blogs like them. The New York Times, Wall Street Journal, USA Today, Reuters are all down 18% since February of 2021. Places like FoxNews.com, BuzzFeed News, The Atlantic, and more, 26% to 31% drop in traffic. And traffic isn't everything, as everyone in the social media game knows. It's not just about how many clicks can you get, it's how much engagement and interaction you can get out of the people who do come across your stuff. Well, my friends, I have even better news on that front. Left and right-leaning publishers have seen a more than 50% drop in social media interactions, with mainstream publishers dropping 42%. This is an all-out bloodbath happening online, as people abandon the traditional news more than ever. And the cable news situation is even worse. I brought you that recent study, which showed that America has the lowest level of public trust in the media. And after the Trump age, people are checking them out the door like never before. CNN's Jake Tapper, the dean of the American cable news establishment here in Washington, he's regarded as a must-watch. And it turns out, only by people who actually live in DC. His audience is down a whopping 75% since January. Let that sink in. As friend of the show Glenn Greenwald points out, the number of viewers that MSNBC and CNN are getting is shocking. We are talking about the highest show on the weekends, clocking in at 60,000 viewers in the key demographic of 18 to 55. At one point, they were getting 33,000 a night. The highest number that MSNBC or CNN can muster on the weekends is a total audience of 865,000 viewers. That is when they don't talk about the news and do a history of late-night comedy. Don't worry, Fox isn't doing so hot either. Fox News primetime programming is down 1/3 for Tucker Carlson's show, 37% for Sean Hannity's show, and 42% for Laura Ingraham. I don't think it has sunk into the public consciousness yet that partisan media online and on cable is collapsing in real time. I don't want to paint a false portrait. They're still incredibly powerful. The millions of boomers who watch them are disproportionately more likely to vote in primaries, and thus they have way more of a say than the rest of us as to who will eventually rule us come election time. But the fact of the matter is this has to break at some point. I have no idea when. Probably not within the next decade, but at a certain point, somebody somewhere has to look around and say, wait a second, there is nobody watching anymore. And that's the amazing thing. To this I say, great. This is an absolute net positive for the country. I'll throw a humble brag in for Crystal and I. In the middle of the largest drop in partisan media in modern U.S. history, our show remains the #1 political podcast in the entire country on Apple and Spotify. I think I know why. It's not just about the lack of partisan cheerleading on this show, but also a range of topics we cover. There is an insane housing market happening right now. You won't find any cable news segments about that. You know why? There's no party to blame. It's both of them complicit in making sure normal middle-class people can't buy a house. Unemployment benefits are being cut off. People are resigning in droves. The only way the media knows how to cover this is either saying GOP or Democrats bad. How about the fact that an entire building just collapsed in Miami, likely killing over 100 people? Same thing. Nothing to say if you can't blame Ron DeSantis or Joe Biden. Over and over and over again, the most important stories in the country are being ignored because the people who created the problems and the conditions for them to happen are both Democrats and Republicans. If you can take away something from this, take this. Whenever cable news is doing well in this country, that means the country is doing worse. So do your part. Tell people, turn them off, and put literally anything else on. History podcasts, History Channel, lifestyle, woodworking, car enthusiasts, anything. Every single one of those is better than being gaslit into hating each other. I'm really proud of the work we do here every day, and I've got a twinkle in my eye watching the people I hate most descend into tough times. It's about time that they've actually felt some of the pain that they have caused so many other people. It's pretty amazing, Crystal. I mean...
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching.
That's right. Just as a reminder, you can become a premium subscriber today. Watch the full show completely uncut, our reactions to each other's monologues. You get to listen to it, you get to ask us questions, all that good stuff. Link is right there in the description or at breakingpoints.com.
Best of all, great way to say screw you to the mainstream media.